Do you get irritated when a desi uncle shows off arrogantly कि मेरा बेटा Google में काम करता है? We all know that India is a status-driven society. We Indians, we love our labels, IIT, IIM, these days FANG companies. In fact, in our desi world, Google isn't just a company, it's the ultimate validation. I worked at Google for years, and this video isn't your typical day in the life at Google story. It is to tell you about the prestige factor, the social hierarchy, and the cultural bubble I saw as a desi professional in California. This isn't just about a tech job either. This is a personal story around social behavior in the world of Silicon Valley through an Indian lens. So buckle up because I'm taking you behind the scenes of the Googleplex desi style. Hi, I'm Nupur Dave and I'm a part of Zerodha's media network through which I share relevant stories and varied perspectives with NRIs. As part of this network, I'm bringing content designed to empower NRIs like you to navigate life and career choices, whether it is to thrive overseas or consider a return to India. Back in 2006, I was a regular girl. I had just graduated with an MS from Georgia Tech and was working as an analyst in a small company. Then in 2007, I applied to Google and got an offer from them. And little did I know how much my life was about to change. The transformation was immediate and almost funny. The first thing I noticed कि बहुत भाव मिलता है. Social dynamics in my friend circle, which was all desi, suddenly shifted. Some guys who didn't take me seriously before were now messaging me, asking questions out of curiosity. Friends were suddenly calling me, wow, smart girl. And my reaction was like, wait, I'm the same person from a week ago. How did I become smart overnight? That's when I first witnessed what prestige can do to people. They judge you by what you do and not who you are. These days, Google has more than 100,000 employees. The prestige is kind of there, but isn't as intense as it used to be, since now people are used to having their friends or family join big-name companies. But back in 2007, it was different. That year, I was at a party with about 20 people, again all desis. The moment I mentioned I worked at Google, every single head turned to look at me. It was too much bhav to handle. After that day, if someone asked me, where do you work? I'd answer Mountain View, which is, to be fair, a technically correct answer to where do you work. With all that prestige comes something hidden, a hidden social hierarchy. You see it in the IITs, the Ivy Leagues, and within the FANG companies. This hierarchy, it was fascinating, but also kind of blinding. Let me give you an example. I was at a desi party once where I knew over 25 people from my Bollywood dance class at Google. Later, someone who'd been there told me he didn't approach me to say hi because you didn't look like you needed friends. He wasn't wrong. Google fulfilled my need for friends, but it also made me pause and realize that I might have been limiting myself, staying in this bubble instead of meeting other incredible people outside of work. This behavior isn't limited to Google. I remember meeting an IT grad and some Harvard MBAs who had the same vibe कि मुझे और friends की आवश्यकता नहीं है. And this social hierarchy could get some extreme reactions. Whenever people heard I worked at Google, some would deliberately ignore me, while others would become chatty or super friendly. I've seen people get triggered if you by mistake talk about the perks like free food or free laundry, and I've been called bade log or elitist. The reverse also happens. A friend who worked at Cisco told me it's annoying to hang out with Googlers because they all end up talking about internal Google stuff like Employee ID 8 or Borg. Did you understand that? No. Exactly. But the hierarchy wasn't just external. There was an internal hierarchy too. There seemed to be a self-inflicted hierarchy with contractors at Google, known as TVCs, temps, vendors, and contractors. These workers came through vendor companies and were not directly hired by Google, and so have a different badge color. There was an implicit message of not good enough to be a real Googler, and the social stigma around this was strong. One TVC guy I knew was so embarrassed about it that he used to hide his badge by tucking it in his pocket while going to lunch because he didn't want to give his TVC status away. Another internal hierarchy I've noticed is how some desis think everyone hired after them isn't that good. I know a Googler who joined in 2016 and said, I was the last best hire. After me, the quality of hires went down. I've seen people say that about IIT dilution once more IITs were introduced, or after my MS at Georgia Tech when more Desis were admitted. Why do people think that way? Sometimes it's because getting into these institutes is their biggest achievement. They've built their entire identity around it. It might also stem from deep-seated frustration. How did they get the same thing I worked so hard for? Which may be stemming from India's scarcity mindset and competitive culture. One thing I've noticed about Desis in the US is that they hate each other. I've been ignored by a new Desi woman who joined my extended team just because, I don't know why. Maybe she was intimidated or what, but she just wouldn't talk to me. At Google, they sometimes ask your former classmates who work at Google for feedback on you after you've done your interviews. Basically, my friend at Google was asked to give a reference for her old classmate who had applied for a job there. She didn't like him personally, so she gave him a bad review and he didn't get the job. Blocking others' success, is it a Desi thing? America is known for its opportunities because the people and the culture encourage each other while Desis bring each other down. This brings in fear. I had an interview candidate come for coaching and he was afraid he won't get into Google because he said, मेरा एक इंटरव्यूअर बंसल है, मैं अग्रवाल हूँ और उसका बॉस गुप्ता है, तो मुझे लगता है they won't pass me. Another case was a leader in the Google India office who was known to block the transfer of their reportees who wanted to move abroad. And then this person ended up moving abroad themselves. What an irony. As a community, we need to support each other a bit more because people will eventually rise to their potential no matter how much you block them. So you might as well help. While most people were a darling to work with, one could notice a behavior change that played out between Google's offices too. A very small number of Desis sort of behave themselves when they're in the headquarters. Something I can't get over is this colleague from the Delhi office who is a pain to work with in India. He used to come late for meetings, ignore you, act superior. And the same guy would come to California and suddenly be so sanskari, on time and nice. It was shocking to me. It seems as if people behave themselves when the stakes are high. So it's a human behavior across the world. It's just that what's high stake for one culture may not be for another. It's interesting that some Desis who might be really competitive and play politics at other companies seem to avoid that at Google. A person I know said, मैं बहुत गंदी politics खेलता हूँ, but this is Google, so I'm sparing it. It's great for employees because it means you get a smoother working experience, but it kind of scares you into leaving the bubble of Google ki what will I face outside if such people are let loose. Google gives a lot of perks to its employees, one of which is free food. But Desi chai isn't easy to find in American offices. We Desis would often use chai to get people to come to events. There was this Badal cafe that served Indian food and chai. People would drive from all over campus just for that chai, even though honestly it wasn't even that authentic. With perks come perk abuse. People would take packs of food home for family or take milk home from the micro kitchen, which isn't ethical. What I noticed is perk abuse is also a personality trait, and I've seen people across cultures and economic statuses abuse it. So nothing here I'd say is specific to Desis. One pretty cool perk about being Desi at Google is that it's a magnet for famous celebrities and politicians. All want to visit the campus. I got to have lunch with Madhuri Dixit, spend half a day with Mandira Bedi and many other famous people. The early days of Google felt like an extended college experience, and I'm sure some still feel it that way. I remember going for a run at 6 p.m. at Shoreline Park, which is right next to the headquarters, and then we'd go to Google's famous Charlie's Cafe for dinners together. As Google expanded, the tight-knit extended college experience has been harder to recreate. My last visit to Mountain View, it was a Friday and literally not a soul to be seen on main campus. Post-COVID work from home has diluted that energy. For me, the summary of being a Desi from Google is that prestige is like a spotlight. It can make you shine, but it can also blind you. We can, as a community, spend more time supporting each other. Indeed, premium institutes are a great place to meet great people, but I've seen that everywhere is a great place to meet wonderful people, even in small, unknown companies. That's it from my side. You can buy my book Back Home for NRIs confused about moving to India, or wait for my next book, Alone Abroad, for single NRIs. Follow me for more NRI content. Bye.